All right, guys. Sorry about that. All right, what I want to show you. All right, that is that area with the where the bed is, the actual primary bed. Now I'm starting to come out of this clearing, and what I want to show you, this is what I've always talked about, the thickest part of the thick. All right, now that we moved out about 30 yards, roughly 20 yards, you're starting to see a couple things here. All right, there is a parallel trail here, okay, going right across through there. Goes up and kind of around that tree and to the left. All right, what is that? Well, there's only one trail going in this cubby hole, right? Now this is important in the mornings. If you wanted to try to pull this in the mornings, which I really don't suggest on a bed like this, he'll be coming in early season now. I may try it. But again, you don't want to blow him out. But, you know, if I'm up here another 30 yards, I can't kill this deer with a bow. For those of y'all that don't know me, I bow hunt only, except for very rare occasions. That said, I mean, I got plenty of trees I could pick. I know he's coming from this way. The thermals are going to be just kind of going downhill that first hour, you know, in the first hour and a half, maybe two. Really, till about 8:15 or so, 8. Depending on what time of year and how fast the sun's coming up. But so them thermals could possibly pull down that hill. All right, well, that's fine. Let's say he's coming from this way. If I know this, which from past experience with this buck, I think he does. Early season, especially. So I got to be, you see how this crests? So using thermals, knowing they're going to be pulling downhill, my first thing, now, north wind's going this way too, so I got to be careful that way. But all being said, if I get over this crest, it's still going to pull downhill, and I'm hoping it'll pull down this ditch over here. All right, so that's one part of this setup. Now, morning setup, which I doubt if I'll do on this deer, I really do. But that's be my only hope, because if it pulls down that hill to him, especially with north wind blowing that way, which is when he predominantly comes in here, north, northwest, northeast, you know, with it pulling downhill and blowing that way, it's a tough charge. So my personal thing is an evening hunt. Now I know I've got this trail here coming, and I'm saying that's an end trail. Coming into the bed, there's actually a bed there where something's laying. Probably him at one point or another. So what do? I'm looking for, this is the trail coming out. All right, he's got one trail comes out and fades this way up through there. It looks a little less traveled. This heaviest trail comes out of the bed, comes in, comes around, and comes up here and forks. So, all right, right now I am probably 15 yards away from the bed itself. I got a pretty good opening there now. He feels safe here. All right, there's a trail that goes that way, and then his trail that goes this way. Well, actually, this way. But he's got a trail here, trail there. So now, 15 yards from the bed, 20 max. We just did a parallel move this way. Bed is right there. All right, let's look at this setup now. So he's coming up out this way. I know it's an out trail from that bed. If it's primary bedding, you can see these trails are going to be the deeper trails. Typically, there's only going to be one, maybe two of them. And they almost always are the deepest trails. The little faded trails coming in from all different directions. Hello, dude. They are your entry trails. You know, we've talked about how enters a bed. Always, they're going to come nose straight into the wind coming into the bed. Leaving the bed, they're pretty happy. They come in, they've been sitting there all day. They know their thermals are working for them. They know they got the wind working for them. They can hear, they can see, and they're just not worried leaving the bed. Because you know what this buck's going to do? All right, we probably hit the 40-yard mark from the bed now, which is still back in there. Big pine tree, past that about another 10 yards. At 40 yards out here, it's open. Still got some ground cover. Even in the winter, a lot of this stuff's that evergreen kind of stuff. Old bushes and stuff. And good browse. And I even see some briars and green briars in this stuff. But I also see all these acorn trees. I got white oaks. I got red oaks. I got I actually seen a couple beech trees up there too that were really good last year, early season. All right, now I'm at 40 yards. There's an old road bed cutting through here. I don't really see any trails on it. I did see some big rubs there. I saw a really big rub up here. I'll add a picture of it. But this is where I got to set up. All right. His main trail comes out here and it starts to fork now. I got trails, this, you know, now I don't know where he's going to be. Now he can go anywhere he wants to go, but I don't think he's going to do it. This deer is at least 6-7 years old. Cause I've been hunting him that long, I know. I mean, I hunted him for the last 4 years and seen him every year, same deer. So I'm assuming when I first started seeing him, he was at least 2. So he could be 7, could be 6-7 years old, probably. Really massive body size. Why would he go any further than right here until it was dark? Now, over here, there's a real big, massive rub line that goes out. Pre-rut, I actually see it early year, like when the velvet starts coming off, it opens up. So I know, that's how I knew he was in this. But look how green this one ridge is and how thick it is. If you look in and see, it's got the perfect situation. It's got that steep drop off. It's a point. It has 2 ditches running right up to where he's bedding. Nothing's coming in from the bottom, no way. Nothing's coming in from behind because he's going to have the wind blowing straight at him. So that's where we got to be careful. Thermals in the daytime are rising, so that helps this spot. He's looking for thermals blowing up. So if I could get, instead of a straight north wind, let's say a little bit of north east wind, I can pick a tree, a sweet gum back there, or just any of these trees back here, just out of sound of him. And I'm going to have to come off this hill completely quiet. I can't make a noise. Probably coming this way, actually. I'll follow that ditch down and then just kind of shoot over that hill. That way my scent will be going that way with the wind and not being pulled up. Now, if it gets down there in the bottom, it could swirl back on him, but I'll have to check all that with milkweed. But I think I can pick a tree like right here, which is going to end up being 70, 80 yards from this buck. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's the rub. You know, I get burnt. I've been burnt several times having these bucks jump up and leave. But at least I get to see them or hear them, and I knew they were there, so I had the opportunity. I've been weighing that since I started this method of hunting, and to me, it's better to blow it out and screw it up than it is to never have a chance at all. So, that being said, my personal opinion on what this deer is going to do, he comes out of his bed, he's going to mill around in here, and then he goes out this way and he starts walking that ridge, and he goes over there and he works this side ridge, eating acorns all night, chasing does, whatever time of year it is, whatever he's doing. So, but it's just some thought to it. These areas are hard to find. I'm back here. I'm way back here. I don't even know how far. I'll probably measure it on the way out. But you get back in these places, but when you find the spot, even if I kill this buck, this spot is always going to have a nice buck on it. This spot is a big buck spot. So even after this buck is gone, the next mature deer, he's going to take over this area. It's going to be his area because it's the best bedding around. And once you learn to find the best bedding in an area, and you find that best bedding, as long as you don't overhunt it, you don't overshoot it, you take your time getting in and out, you watch your wind currents and be patient. You know, these things will last, I mean, forever. But just keep in mind, you know, they want the thermals pulling up to them. They want that steep drop off, and they want to be able to see a lot of times, but sometimes they want to be buried in it. It just depends on the buck, you know. But they all want the thermals pulling up and the wind over their back. That is a guarantee on all of them. Even these clear-cut deer that bury up in there, they'll find a little point, the little ridge inside of a clear cut, and that's where they're going to be. I've been able to prove that with binoculars, watching them, you know, especially when you get closer to season and people start driving down the roads and all that good stuff again. So you'll see them out there in them clear cuts, and I'm going to do a whole video on clear cuts this year. and the importance of them and how they bed inside them. Everybody says, oh, they just go in there. Negative. They've got a method to everything they do, and they bed inside of clear cuts certain ways, and that way maybe you can find out how they leave the clear cuts. But anyway, I hope this kind of summed up a bedding area with a little bit of the proof of the beds in there. I know that this bedding area will be predominantly better during the acorn drop. There's water close by. There's acorns everywhere. Once you break out this side, up there, or down, well, you can see down in that valley ain't nothing but just beautiful acorns. But on this particular bed, it really looks like he just bails straight into there. He has parallel trails going there and a parallel trail going here, so he can break left, he can break right. If by chance he starts coming out there on the bottom, I'm bringing a rifle. Happy hunting.